welcome to Passport to Paradise Vacations.
My name is Krystal, and this is
Kayla. And for us, Passport to Paradise Vacations is all going to be about cruise news, cruise tips, cruise reviews, and so much more. Our upload schedule is aimed to be Monday, Fridays, but of course, if something big happens in the cruise industry, we will upload in between those videos so that you aren't left in the dark. Today's video is going to be all about you getting to know us. We have 10 questions and probably about 20 answers with a few quick retorts, some funny stories. You know, life happened. So let's go ahead and jump in. So question 1 is, what got us into cruising?
Well, we had a friend that invited us on a cruise.
She did.
Yes.
September of 2009.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Monarch of the Seas. God bless her soul. She is dearly departed and dearly loved.
Yep. And she ended up not going on the cruise with us.
But we booked and paid like responsible adults.
Yep.
Even though we were children. Really, I was 18, not even 18 when we paid for this.
And we went and we had a blast.
We did. We met probably 2 of our favorite cruise cruise friends that we've ever met. Connie and Rose, or as we called them, Connie and
Diabetical.
And that was not us who gave them the name of Diabetical. That was Diabetical herself. She was like, if you can't find me, just yell Diabetical and I will answer. But we met them in the cruise terminal before we boarded. We were, they don't really do it so much nowadays, but back then they used to put you in these 2 lines of, can you hold this, please? 2 lines of chairs, and your chairs were facing each other, and you were on top of each other. Like a person could not fit down the aisle if you were, 2 people were sitting across from each other. And they were pretty chatty.
Yeah, they were, talking to everyone. People were, getting to know them. They were helping everyone feel comfortable.
Oh, yes.
All we could hear was laughing coming from that direction. And, we were nervous. It was our first cruise. We had no idea what was going on. We had never been out of the country before. We'd never done anything like this. And we're just like, what is going on? Yeah. Who are these people? They're older. And, we're just like, what is going on over here? We wanted to go over there and see, what all the fuss was about.
And so we did. And so started 4 days of just absolute fun. Connie and Rose both were just hysterical. I don't know how many times, we would meet up with them randomly on the pool deck, and Connie would just be like, what deck is this? What deck are we on? But she was northern, and so I think to her she was saying deck, but to everybody else she was not saying deck at all, period. We went to the port shopping guide show, and we ended up sitting with Rose, and we kept asking her, where's Connie? And she's like, don't know, no idea. And there was probably 5-10 minutes left in the show, and Connie comes walking up, and she's covered in just black dirt and soot all over her face and her hands, and we were like, what happened to you? Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is day 1, day 2, maybe our first sea day. And so we didn't really know them enough at that point to be like, girl, where were you? But we just kind of stood there while Rose, gave her the what for. And apparently she says that she had gotten herself locked in a boiler room because she had gotten lost after the club the night before. And I would not doubt this, because in the club the night before, she was a hot mess express. But they were a great time. And it really, I think, is what got our blood and our love for cruising. We wanted to be them when we got older. I still want to be them when I get older. So question 2. Krystal, how many cruises have you been on?
I think it is 15 now. I think we're getting ready to go. Well, I'm getting ready to go on 15.
Oh, and see, December of 2019, I snuck an extra one in on Krystal. So I'm one up from her. So I think this would be 17 for me. Uh-huh. So question 3, Krystal. What lines have we sailed?
Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian.
But if you ask Krystal, we really have not sailed Norwegian.
No, I don't know that we can count those few days.
We 2 days before this sailing, we decided we were going to book our Norwegian 3-day open bar sailing, and we took advantage of that open bar. We got on early, and we have brought our tumblers, and they give you 2 drinks at a time when you go up. So we were just taking the 2 drinks, pouring them in our tumblers, not thinking about how much we had drank. And we went to put our luggage away, and did we fall asleep at that point?
Probably.
We should mention that we ended up driving down through the night, the night before, and we slept for like a couple of hours in a gas station parking lot, or like a truck stop parking lot. We're not stupid. We're not that crazy. And so we were exhausted. We were also at this point extremely drunk. And so we fell asleep. We got up. We went to the muster. Went to the
sail away party.
And then I don't think we stopped drinking.
Nope.
We got in the hot tub, I think, at some point. Like, I remember I remember talking to people in the hot tub at that point. And then when they met up with us later in the cruise, I had no idea who they were. And they were just like talking like we were like the best of friends. And I'm just like, who are you? And why are you like, what? And like, that's fine. Like, I love to talk to people, but like, it was just the fact that they knew us. They knew our names. They knew where we were from. They knew this was our first Norwegian cruise. Like, I mean, they knew a lot about us. And I'm just like, I don't know you from Adam. Like, who are you? And, but in our drunken stupor, what did we do, Krystal?
We bought excursion tickets.
We did.
Not just any excursion tickets.
We bought really expensive excursion tickets.
But it was our favorite excursion. Well, one of our favorite excursions. Yes. And we swam with pigs.
We did. And we had so much fun. But waking up the next morning to tickets under our door was quite a surprise. We almost missed the excursion because it was the day of the excursion. And we didn't know about it, so we hadn't gotten up. So we hustled. We hustled out that door to get to the private island, to then get on the boat to go to the other private island to swim with the cute little piggies. So question 4, what is your favorite port, Krystal?
Cozumel.
Yes. I think we both agree Cozumel is our favorite. We love it. We go there so many times. In fact, we're heading back there in 2 weeks.
I should just move there.
Yes, that's the end goal, is to just live in Cozumel. So what's your favorite ship?
Symphony of the Seas.
Symphony. And we just sailed the Symphony in September of 2021. And I went with the Oasis. So sister class, a little smaller, a little older. And when I say a little smaller, it's literally like, centimeters? A few inches smaller. And I think I went with the Oasis because of the atmosphere that we had. I don't know if it was just that cruise or if it was just because Royal hasn't brought back everything since COVID and all the, shutdowns and everything. So the entertainment wasn't what we had remembered. Like, the shows were great. The shows that they were running were great. The ice show, we saw Hairspray, we saw the diving show. Those were all fantastic. But I just felt like a lot wasn't there that was normally there. So I feel like, whereas the boat was phenomenal, and maybe that's what I should be judging it on, is the boat. But I feel like when you don't have that emotional connection, the boat doesn't seem as grand to me. So, what is your favorite thing about cruising?
Well, I like the all-inclusive ness of the cruise. Everything's all included, the food and, all your entertainment. Everything is right there for you. You don't have to go and think of anything to do. It's all right there. Like I said, the food's amazing. I love all the different options. And if you don't want to go eat in the main dining room, you have buffet options, you have specialty restaurant options. And being out of the country, it gives you the option to go see different places.
Right. I think that is one of my top reasons I love cruising too, is you get a splash of so many different cultures. I mean, yes, you may hit more than one place in Mexico, but just like here in the United States, like not every part of Mexico has the same culture and the same, attitudes and the same vibe. And I love getting to go to more than one place. You don't feel stuck. You don't feel, confined. I also love the fact that there's a show every night. There's comedy every night. I love comedy. I love, getting to know my wait staff and the crew we see on board. I feel like it's like a little community, and you definitely see people again and again and again, and you fall in love with just the culture around you on the ship as well. So question 7, not favorite 7. Question 7, favorite part about each cruise line?
Carnival would have to be the entertainment. I feel like I really like their comedy, their shows, their parties, things like that. Royal Caribbean, I like their ships. Norwegian, we've only done the little 3-day. I don't feel like we have enough to make a good judgment yet off of them. Hopefully one day we'll cruise some longer cruises, and we'll have more to judge from them.
More opinions. I definitely, for Carnival, I said the comedy. I like that it's every night and you get 2 shows a night, plus a family-friendly show, which I don't think we've ever actually been to a family-friendly show. Have we?
I feel like we have.
Maybe
but
once,
I don't
maybe
know.
once when we had plans later that evening. I don't really remember. I know we try to hit at least one show a night of the rated R or 18 plus or whatever they're calling it now shows, and they're phenomenal. I also said this. I feel like the service on Carnival I feel like I say that, but then we had great experiences on Royal as well. But the service and then entertainment. I have come to find that I like Carnival shows better. I don't know if that is because the last ship we sailed before the shutdown was the Horizon, and the shows on the Horizon are just out of this world good. I do like that Royal does, one big production show, like a Broadway style show, but it's just one, and the rest of the shows are kind of meh. And then for Norwegian, she's right, we've only sailed the 3-day. I like that they give you so many options and packages when you're purchasing, so that you can get, the free beverage package, free internet, free, dining packages. They have shore excursion credits. I feel like they do that really well, whereas, Royal and Carnival, they don't always or don't often have packages that include anything like that. Sorry about the lack of picture. We are having some severe technical difficulties, and it keeps turning off in the middle of a sentence. The Horizon was on there. I don't know if you caught that. And apparently the Horizon does not like us talking about it today. So, question 8, your best cruise memory.
Well,
speak of the devil.
Speak of the Horizon. It happened while we were on the Horizon. We were on an excursion
in the Dominican Republic.
Yep, in the Dominican, and on the 2019 Horizon cruise. We were on a catamaran snorkel excursion, and we were having rum and cokes
at our first stop. The Starfish. It was a protected, I don't remember what they called it, a protected reserve area, and it was roped off to this part of this water. It wasn't roped off, but I guess you had to know if you lived there and if you're doing excursions there, and it was supposed to be full of starfish.
Yeah, we didn't see that many, but, so we had these little cups of rum and coke that were...
rum and Sprite.
Yeah. They were probably 90% rum, splash of soda. And we'd had, 5 or 6, and Maria, her grandma, yeah, she had quite a bit more. So...
But you couldn't tell her that.
No.
No, she kept telling me, no, guys, I've had just as many as you have.
Mm-hmm. But, while we're just enjoying the water and floating around.
It's beautiful.
She's gone. Yeah, she's following the bartender / deckhand, following him around everywhere he's going, getting refills. And so it's lunchtime now. The boat has taken us to a different island.
It was like their little private island area where they had like a little palapa shack thing where you get drinks, and then like a little setup for food, like a buffet style.
Yep. And so they parked the boat, and we went ahead down the stairs ahead of her, and we're waiting, and all of a sudden we see her coming down the stairs. She gets about 4 stairs from the beach, and boom, face first into the sand, and we hear her yelling about her hat.
Oh, this magical hat that probably cost her like $4 at the Walmart before we left Miami.
Had to have the hat. And she's so worried about her hat. She wasn't hurt or anything.
No,
and she's just,
fine.
my hat, where's my hat? People are trying to help her up.
But she doesn't want to get up because she can't find her hat. It was a time.
It was a time, yes. And so we managed to get her to the chairs, get her some lunch.
How, I don't know, because the two of us were practically rolling on the ground laughing. Like, we were no help.
No.
Trying to get, like, luckily the captain of the ship was coming down, or had just come down. Maybe he was helping you at the end, and he helped her up. Thankfully for him, he was a great help. But we couldn't stop laughing. I mean, we were pretty inebriated as well. So
we probably looked like the worst people in the world laughing at her, but it was so funny.
It was so funny.
And we managed to get her to the chair and fed.
Now, we should say we went down. We ate as well, and then we went down into the water. But the water had like a pretty, I'd say a pretty drastic drop.
It
like
did.
A slope, like on the sands part before you could go in. And so we think she's up there taking a nap. And we're like, good, she won't try to come down into this water. Because, it was hard for us, like, to keep our balance going. Everyone was having problems.
Everyone was having issues coming up over the hill and into the water because it was just such a steep hill.
Yeah, it was very strange. But she did not stay put.
Nope, she did not. All of a sudden, we're just in the water, relaxing. All of a sudden, you just see her come up over the hill, she's holding her hat on her head.
The important part.
Up over the hill, and we're yelling at her, stop!
Like,
stop,
don't do it!
Don't come in! There's a drop-off. There's a drop-off. She can't hear us.
Not even listening.
She can't hear us. She doesn't know what we're trying to tell her to do, and she keeps walking. So what happens? Face plants again into the water.
But this time it was into the water. Like, she was full water. So she was fine. She just, like, swam as she fell. She was like, okay. Like, started doggy paddling out to us. And she's like, but I'm fine, guys.
But, of course, everybody's like, oh, my God, she's down again.
Right. Like, they all come running, and we're like, no, she's good. Like, she's good this time, we promise. I've never laughed so hard in my life. Like, that was probably the best day on a cruise, like, excursion or a cruise ship that we've ever had. Mine, as Krystal so nicely remembered for me, we were on the Carnival Miracle. Was that 2018 or 2017?
18, because 17 was the Paradise.
Yes, that was
the Paradise in Alaska.
But yeah, so September 2018, we're on the Carnival Miracle with Frankie, who is one of our top cruise directors. We love Frankie. And, we were in the hot tub. It was a sea day. We had been drinking. We'd been having a good time. We're in the hot tub, and he just comes out, and he's like, all right, it's time for the hairy chest contest. And I get excited. I love pool games, deck games. Like, I love watching.
They're so much fun. So
right.
Watch them. Participate.
Yes.
They're great.
Yeah. Participation. I say watch them 100%. I'm in this hot tub. I turned around because it was glass enclosed, and he was behind me, so I turned around on my knees, and I was leaned up over the glass, going, oh, I'm gonna watch from in here. And he's finding, female judges to join and to be the judge of the hairy chest contest. But they put the judges in categories. You have to fit into this category. And I don't know what got into me, but when he was like, okay, I need the judge between 25 and 30, I think is, and I was, pick me. And boy, did he. And so I had to come out of the hot tub soaking wet and judge this hairy chest competition, which I don't know if you've ever watched the hairy chest competition or judged the hairy chest competition or participated in it. That means I am groping, 10, 12 men at a time? Like, not at a time, but like, they come one by one, and you're groping all of them. You are touching their front, you're touching their back, they're dancing on you, you're sitting, so they're doing lap dances. I think I laughed through the entire thing, and then the girls would get together and we were meeting up to see who was going home, and it was the best time. I had so much fun, but it's just not something that personally I would have ever done. I don't think I thought I would get picked, because I think why I raised my hand, I was just like, oh, you'll never see me in the hot tub.
Kind of like the 80s.
Oh yeah, that's another bad,
yeah.
We'll tell you that one next. But so then we get home from this cruise after I had judged the hairy chest competition. And now I feel like the other ladies kind of left a lot of the giving out the trophies and the medals to me and this one girl. So we're constantly being like, having to walk over and put the medals around their neck or give them the trophy. So I feel like me and this girl, I don't remember what her name was, but at one point we were just like, well, which one did you want to go? Which one did you? Okay, so then I'll give them to the opposite person. So I'm not being like, well, that's the guy I was trying to save and putting the medal on. It's like, bye, you lose. But when we got home, I got a message from a friend of mine that I had a video of me being the judge for her friend's husband, boyfriend on the ship. And I was like, what a small world that, somebody who I've known most of my life, one of her really good friends is on the boat and had recorded me and just me and her husband, as I'm dancing all up on him. That's the video she had. It was so funny, and just reminds you how much of a small world it is. Now don't go into not doing things on a cruise ship because you're oh my god, people back home will know. Do it. It's so much fun. But you want to tell them about this rockin' 80s party we got ourselves participating in?
I mean, was that the same cruise though?
Oh my god, I think it was. Or no, was that the Horizon?
2000. Oh yeah.
No, that
was the Horizon.
That was the Horizon, the 2019 Horizon.
So again,
this damn Horizon.
This 2019.
We this was the first cruise where we had really done a lot of research beforehand and wanting to find out theme parties. So we had dressed up for White Night, and we were dressed up for the 80s party on the 80s themed deck party.
And we were really all out for this.
Yeah, we were the only ones who had gone all out. We were wearing black leggings, and we had gotten these oversized shirts and cut the necks out so they were sweeping off the shoulder, and we had the gloves, and we had our hair all crazy, and our makeup was done.
And we had bracelets. Oh, yeah. And it was we had scrunchies.
Yes. This was before scrunchies were cool again.
Yep.
So scrounging those up was difficult.
Yeah, we went to Claire's and got all this 80s jewelry. We really did it up.
We did.
And so of course we got picked to be in the air guitar competition. And I don't do stuff like that. No. I don't volunteer for things.
We did not volunteer. We were voluntold.
Yes.
Cookie voluntold us.
Yes.
But we also had to point out that this had been after a long day in, what was it, Aruba?
Probably.
Or Curacao? I think it was Aruba. And so we had just gotten back on the boat. It was been a late port day. And we had immediately oh my god, we have to change into our 80s gear. We had eaten. I think we did eat. And we changed into our 80s gear, and we ran. So we didn't have any drinking. We were stone cold sober going into this air guitar contest. Oh.
Yeah, so it was very, I was oh, I'm not doing this. I am not doing this.
But she did.
I did. I did. Got out there in front of the entire ship.
Everybody was out there.
Everybody was there and did the air guitar. It was so awkward.
It was very awkward. And so like they had Krystal go first.
Of course.
And then I went and I'm like, okay, well I just have to beat Krystal. Like I mean like she was like, you know, banging, but she wasn't like banging. So I like threw my shoes off and like kicked them off and was like throwing my head around and really going to town. And I thought I had done like a pretty good job. Like, you know, we both had gotten pretty good crowd participation. And then the kid next to me, there was 4 of us. It was 2 girls, 2 guys. And the kid next to me went. And I didn't think he really got the memo of what an air guitar was. I don't know if maybe he was just young. Maybe he didn't really understand like the 80s when an air guitar was. I mean, not that to say he didn't do good, because it was still good. I just don't know that he played air guitar. And then the last guy. I didn't think his air guitar skills were all that great. I don't really know that. I mean, he just kind of stood there and like guitared out, and then he like jump kicked into the pool.
Yeah.
So
not doing that.
I would have done that if I'd known that was an option. Didn't even think about it. Like, I thought the pool was closed because, like, I mean, it was dark and, you know, I didn't know. But we made a lot of friends that night, though. People were like, y'all did so good. And, you know, we went to the club with a bunch of them, and, like, it was but still dressed in 80s night. So then, like, then it was weird because we're the only ones, like I said, we were the only ones that dressed up at this point. So we're in the club with all these people, and they're, like, club attire, and we're in 80s attire. It was a little embarrassing, but also just kind of like, whatever. Those are some good cruise memories. Okay, so question 9. Your favorite crew interaction? We've had so many.
Well, Hugo was one of my favorites.
And oh my God, can anybody else guess what cruise he was on? I think you guys might know.
Yeah, he was probably one of the first like waiters we really had good interactions with.
That's true.
And he was awesome. I mean, he always had everything ready for us. He got to know what we liked, what we didn't like. He had ketchup ready for us. He had everything right there. Ketchup, butter, drinks. I could never keep the same drink.
But I did. I always came in and I got a creamsicle. And I mean, I swear he would see us coming in the door, and my creamsicle would be on the table then moments afterwards. But we do my time dining. So, I mean, in general, you normally get a different wait staff every night. And we didn't really know that you could request a wait staff after your first visit, but we got him 2 nights in a row on accident, didn't we? And then after that second night, we were like, if we get anybody but Hugo, we're gonna riot. And so we ended up just asking for him every night, and it worked out. But Hugo was great. And I even wrote Hugo for mine as well. Hugo, and then Panji and Adrian. So Hugo is on the Horizon in 2019. Of course, I feel like the Horizon can do no wrong for us. And Panji and Adrian were on the Symphony of the Seas last September in 2021. And when I tell you, we got them the first night, right? And then the second night, we sat somewhere else. And they came and found us. And we're like, what are you guys doing? Why are you guys sitting with us? And we were like, we asked for you, but they said your tables were busy. And then the third night I think was the icing on the cake for me. We, again, were getting seated in somebody else's section. And they came over and were like, no. You come with us. And they ended up taking on an extra table to take us that night. Which I thought was just, I mean, above and beyond. We had such a great relationship, especially with Adrian. I mean, every night we'd come in and our drink orders, we'd just be like, an Adrian special. And so every night we tried a different drink, and he would just sit and he would chit chat with us. And I mean, he was phenomenal. Panji as well, but Panji's a little busier being the head waiter. Adrian had a little more time to just kind of, loaf around with us. And, and really I mean, when he was coming to the table, he would just always make sure that he was asking you questions and engaging you. And I mean, he was hilarious. He just was no. What waiter was it that gave us the Riddle? Is that on the July 4th cruise on the Horizon? When we were sitting in that back little section by ourselves, he gave us that riddle, and we never did figure it. He had to tell us the answer.
Yep.
And then I think we both kind of wanted to give it an honorable mention, and we do not remember his name, and that's awful. But the maitre d' on the Horizon in 2019 was so funny. Like, he would go around with his little microphone, and before showtime, like, I'd say, like, what, a good 5-6 minutes before showtime, he would just start whispering into his microphone, and he'd, showtime. And he, by, like, what, night 3, he figured out that if he came behind me and did it, I would, whoo! And jump, and, like, and then we'd all laugh. And so then every night, it was, like, a reoccurring thing. He'd come over and scare me before showtime. And then when we went on the July 4th cruise in 2021, he was again the maitre d'. And we were both, like, we thought it was him, but we weren't sure until that first night when he was going, showtime. And then, like, was it night 2 or night 3? He came up behind me and he did it again, and I jumped, and he goes, I thought that was you! And, like, it was just so funny, and it was so nice to be remembered by somebody who, like, really doesn't have that many interactions with you. I mean, it's not like he would see you every night, you know? Like, it's not like he's forced to see. I mean, he's the maitre d'. He's busy. He's a busy man. He sees the entire boat. So, question 10, and the last question we have is, if you could pick your ship, the destination, the number of days, and the cruise director, who and what would you pick?
I would pick the Wonder of the Seas.
Which we have not sailed.
Nope. And Donkey.
Of course, Mr. Chris Salazar himself.
And Australia, Fiji, New Zealand, that whole South Pacific area.
And I went with the Mardi Gras because I am just, like, slightly obsessed with it right now. When we did the July 4th cruise, they did the big drive-by, which was amazing, but it just made you really want to sail on her, which I guess was the whole point. But we've watched so many. Krystal would like to tell you we've watched all the Mardi Gras videos. I'd say the first few months that were put up, we definitely have. I know we've watched, 90% of them, at least. So I picked the Mardi Gras. I also chose Donkey, which, let me tell you, in this year's cruise directors, we are scheduled to go on the Mardi Gras the week before Christmas. And when this year's cruise director schedule came out and we saw Donkey was going on the Mardi Gras, we both were, like, screaming. We were like, oh, we're gonna get Donkey on the Mardi Gras. We were so excited. Just to find out he's only there through October. He's on for training. And I was like, so close. We almost got Donkey again, and on accident. Like, we didn't sail for Donkey. We were sailing because it was a family Christmas vacation and we chose the Mardi Gras. But we were so close to getting Donkey. And then I chose London, Ireland, Scotland, like that whole northern European, like, range. France, just, that is my dream. And we've tried, but, COVID keeps shutting us down, or, just we find that we want to do a ship, like, sometimes a ship speaks to us more than the itinerary, and that's kind of what happens. So that was the 10 questions that we had, and that is today's video. So don't forget to subscribe, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Passport to Paradise Vacations. And I will link both of those in the description bar. And if you guys ever need help planning or thinking about a cruise, we are cruise experts. No, I'm just kidding. But we are travel agents, so we can help you. And I will have our website and all of that linked in the description bar as well. We would love to hear from you guys. And that was today's video. And I think we've already gone over the Monday, Friday, and we can throw up one in between, and that we would love to have you guys join our Passport to Paradise family, and we'll see you guys again on Monday.